just don't go the way you really want it to go. But if you just stick in there and you recognize that when that heat kind of compresses, there comes a diamond. So there's a diamond inside of you. So you got to make sure that that shines all the time. And that's why we actually came up with that acronym. Understanding that you have a desire, an achievement, motivation, and open-mindedness that is necessary for success. That is what that acronym stands for. So it's just not a name. It is what we are. Okay? You are destined for success. And you've got to believe it and continue to follow in that path. Okay? All right. So next, I'd like to have Ms. Jalen Turner. She's going to introduce our speaker for this evening.
Hello everyone, my name is Diamond Jalen Turner. It's a little bit long, so just bear with me. On a special day in 1996, better known as leap year, February 29th, a young Southern belle was born in Savannah, Georgia, to Tasha Otis and Michael Small Jr. In the early years of her life, she knew that she was different from everyone else, not because of her birthday, but she had very different dreams and aspirations as other children. While attending grade through high school, in Georgia and Florida, she participated in Girl Scouts, AWOL Inc., All Walks of Life, as a dancer, Science Olympiad, SLP, Student Leadership Program, ETS, Education Talent Search, which was the foundation of shaping her to become the woman she is today. In 2011, Mashai moved to Maryland, where she attended Hammond High School her sophomore through senior year. She participated in Diamonds as a mentor, which triggered her dreams of becoming a life coach. Ms. Small is a junior at Ashford University, where she will graduate spring of 2020 with a Bachelor's of Art in Finance. While currently employed at Northrop Grumman Corporation in Lincoln Heights, Maryland, Mashai is a specialist in the United States Army who plans to dedicate her selfless service to others in uniform and outside of her military duties. The Soul Koach is her self-given name, which better reflects her talents of helping others and being one more person pushing the world to become a better place. Mashai uses her skills as a certified life coach to motivate, brand, and financially educate others. She plans on being the voice of reasoning, person sought out for advice, the person who places a smile upon others' faces, and the friend everyone needs. Peace of Mind LLC was created as an outlet for people of all ages to focus on topics of bullying, gun violence, self-image issues, peace, positivity, self-love, contentment, and spreading love to one another. Good evening, inductees, parents, teachers, and faculty members. I am Mashai Small. I am a 2014 Hammond High School alumni. I am honored to be here tonight as a guest speaker for Hammond Diamonds. I'm just going to tell you guys up front, I'm nervous. But as stated in my biography, I am a former Diamond, and I was a part of the very first group of young ladies to be inducted into the Diamonds. Yes, I made history. I feel pretty prehistoric for saying that I was part of history. Since then, I've joined the United States Army, become a certified life coach, created my own business, Peace of Mind LLC, obtained an internship for Brittany Garth, who's a certified life coach who has been on TED Talk, TD Jakes Show, writes for Forbes, Cosmopolitan Magazine, and I've managed to land a job with a Fortune 500 company. As you listen to all of my accomplishments over the last 3 years, you might think to yourself, wow, she has her life together. But it actually took many restless nights, working 4 jobs, going to school, and prayers. How about this? I'll take you back to when adulting really hit me 2 years ago after I graduated. I thought things would be a piece of cake. I could go wherever I wanted to, sleep in, make lots of money, and things would be like Timon and Pumbaa said, Hakuna Matata, no worries. Shortly after returning home from basic training at AIT, which is job training for the Army, I couldn't find a job. Shortly after that,
well, 4 months after that, I went in a deep depression, deep in my thoughts about what was my next plan and how I would get there. Prior to joining the Army, I had one job, which was my first job, and it was working at Savage Mill as a janitor. I wasn't very fond of the job. I felt like Cinderella, mopping floors and scrubbing toilets. I knew I had to start somewhere. You have to understand the lowest person job to get to the CEO position. I remained humble and pushed through the storm. You're really being tested, and you know what they say, my darling. Being tested only makes you stronger. That's a quote from Downton Abbey. This quote is a perfect example of my experience, of what I was about to experience. Little did I know I was at the beginning of life's test. I was at the beginning of my test called life. I had received a job in March of 2015 as a sales associate position. It was a sales associate position. I was eager to move up in the company, but there wasn't room for me to grow. So I went on a search for another job that I would enjoy. I landed the job and I loved it. I was a sales associate again. It was a different customer audience to appeal to, different products to sell, and I was making more than minimum wage now and began receiving awards for my performance. To expand my work experience, I started to work in the school system to be able to mentor students and become a buffer between them and preparing them for a huge milestone called high school. I landed yet another job, and this one was for Prince George's County Public School System as an avid tutor at Drew Freeman Middle School in Suitland, Maryland. So now, this is 3 jobs so far, and I was doing online school. I had started online school in the fall. So some people might say one job isn't enough. It felt good to be making my own money and adulting the right way. So one day I was sitting there thinking to myself, how could I help others? This answer was life coaching. I had done my research before, and I didn't know many young people in this field who was like myself. I started my own blog based on peace and positivity because that was what I needed at that point in time. And basically, I ended up incorporating all of the experience that I went through in my life, and I placed it on my blog just so other people could relate to me. But back to all of my jobs that I was collecting at that point. I love shopping, and I mean, who doesn't love shopping? So I added another job to my roster for the discounts and the money to save. I bet you all are saying to yourself, when does she sleep? And how does she maintain her schedule? It took a lot of practice. I used my cell phone and a planner that my mom bought me, and I made use of it because I couldn't be late and I had to keep track of my money because I wasn't going to be underpaid. No one likes being shortchanged, and I wasn't working for Trident, so they weren't going to pay me income. Okay, let's fast forward to about 6 months into 2016. I quit all 3 of my jobs to take one job that would lay the foundation for when I graduated with my finance degree. I put in my 2 weeks notice and I didn't look back. I was so excited and humble because it felt like I had reached the ultimate level of contentment and no one could bring me down. You can definitely compare the feeling to the feeling that you get when you have a big project and you finally present it and all the stress is lifted off of you. 2016 was a year that I thought that I had overcome every obstacle that was heading to phase 2 of adulting. When life knocked at my front door and hit me hard, I was laid off from my job, and this confirmed that life was not running off of luck, it was running off of lessons. At this point in my life, I was 20 years old, facing problems that I thought older people face. Older people like your parents and stuff. Life doesn't have an age or lessons. I was depressed once again, But by this time, I had to think about my why. My mentor had me create a why when I was in life coaching school as an assignment. And another one of my idols, Patrice C. Washington, she loves creating vision boards, and it helps you get a bigger picture. Basically, it lets you know what drives you, motivates you, and keeps you going. I cried about 2 times before the year ended, wiped my face, and I said, I'm going to try this adulting thing again. I listened to the words of encouragement that my mother gave me to keep me sane. And she said, God knows your heart, and He's preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. I continued to pray and stayed humble because I know all good things that I had done wouldn't go unnoticed. Now it's 2017, and we're here now at the end of the year. I've gotten a taste of life, and I wanted to share my story with each one of you. Diamonds are made with pressure, and at the end, a very beautiful result. All of you young ladies, no matter what you have gone through and what you might go through, continue to push through and shine bright like a diamond.
My name is Diamond Erica Olanian. On behalf of the Hammond Diamond Scholar, we would like to present you with a small token of thanks for giving us such an inspiring message this evening. Thanks for taking the time to be a part of this special night for our new inductees.
Let's give her another hand. However, as we